Hey everyone, let's jump right into this explainer. Today we're unpacking a massive architectural shift for the decentralized web just announced by Linkspreed LLC. Yeah, the team behind the Web4 ecosystem. They are expanding their Universal Independent Identifier, or UIID protocol. We're going to break down exactly what these new UIID trust scores and KYC integrations actually mean for the new internet, and how they balance that tricky demand for institutional-grade security with the absolute need for digital privacy.
But before we get bogged down in the technical mechanics, I want you to ask yourself a serious question. Who really owns your digital identity? I mean, think about it for a second. Right now, do you actually control your digital presence? Or is your identity just fragmented and sitting on the massive servers of a few giant corporations? You use their passwords, you're in their databases, you play by their rules. Well, this exact question is literally what's driving the entire Web4 evolution, that fundamental desire to take that ownership back.
So that brings us right into part one, the Web4 identity dilemma. It's a foundational conflict we have to address.
Just think about the stark contrast between these two models. On the old internet, Web 2, your identity lives on corporate servers. Sure, it's highly centralized, which makes it super easy for those companies to moderate things, but it completely strips you of your privacy and ownership. Then, on the flip side, we have the Web 4 model, decentralized identity, rooted directly in user-owned hardware. Now, shifting identity to your own hardware is amazing for privacy because you actually own your data. But getting rid of those centralized corporate servers, it exposes these networks to completely new vulnerabilities.
Which brings us to a major paradox. If you remove the central authority, the giant corporation acting as the bouncer, how do you actually stop the bad actors? Specifically in these decentralized spaces, how do you prevent Sybil attacks without just reverting back to centralized control? If anyone can just spin up a hardware-based identity, how do you know who is a real human and who is just part of an automated botnet?
And to solve that exact paradox, we're moving on to part two, introducing UIID trust scores. So here is Linkspreed's newly announced solution to bridge that massive gap between user privacy and network security. At its core, this means the UIID protocol is expanding to support trust scores and know your customer, or KYC, verifications. By baking these layers in, Linkspreed is adding voluntary, institutional-grade security to decentralized social networks. And hey, the absolutely crucial word here is voluntary. The whole goal is to keep Web4 authentic and safe, without forcing some creepy one-size-fits-all surveillance apparatus onto the network.
Let's see how a voluntary system like this actually works in the wild. Welcome to part 3, Tools for Community Leaders. The really cool thing here is that these tools are totally modular. Instead of global rules just forced onto everyone, they function like optional toggle switches that network admins can activate based on their community's specific needs. They are literally 100% opt-in. It places the control entirely in the hands of the people actually managing those individual networks.
So for an admin, this essentially creates a three-step defense. Step 1, they can gatekeep access. If they're running a highly sensitive community, they can make sure that only verified or high-trust individuals can actually join those specific social circles. Step 2, because bots obviously can't pass institutional-grade KYC, admins can completely eradicate automated spam and Sybil attacks. Just gone. And finally, Step 3, this lets real users build a portable trust score across the entire Web4 ecosystem. You basically get all the benefits of being a trusted, verified human without having to hand over your sensitive personal data over and over again to every single new network you join. I think this quote perfectly reflects Linkspreed's core philosophy with this launch. As their leadership team put it, by giving admins the power to set trust thresholds, we aren't creating a centralized gatekeeper. We are giving communities the fencing they need to keep untrusted actors out of their private digital spaces. It's a total shift in perspective, right? They aren't trying to be the boss, they're just providing the architectural fencing, but you and your community get to decide exactly where to put those fences.
Now, let's peek under the hood at part 4, the technical trust anchor. We'll see how they actually make decentralized trust a reality without just defaulting back to a central database. This whole system relies on the latest UIID version 2.5 updates. Basically, trust scores leverage what they call permanent data anchors and immutable KV storage. In plain English, once a trust credential is computationally verified, boom, it's locked into the network. It's mathematically secured, so literally no one can alter it after the fact. It acts like a highly secure, completely decentralized storage locker, ensuring that your credential stays reliable and 100% tamper-proof.
And for those specific communities that demand the highest possible level of security, the optional KYC module uses a high-privilege consent process. Essentially, think of this as a strict digital double-check. It ensures the user is always in the driver's seat and must explicitly approve exactly how and when their verified status is shared. This is huge because it allows the protocol to meet really strict global compliance standards while still fiercely protecting your Web4 privacy. All right, zooming out from the technical mechanics, we arrive at Part 5, Reclaiming the Internet. This really highlights the ultimate mission of the Albuquerque, New Mexico-based team at Linkspreed.
To sum it all up, the UID protocol acts as a unified engine to quite literally reclaim the internet for the individual. It completely replaces the need for traditional passwords, which we all know are a nightmare. It removes our reliance on highly vulnerable centralized databases, establishes a rock-solid hardware-based identity, and prioritizes privacy above absolutely everything else. It is entirely about giving you the tools to prove you're trustworthy without forcing you to give up your digital rights.
So, with institutional security finally merging with user-owned hardware through these trust scores, a completely different model for the internet is emerging. Which leaves us with a final, pretty massive question. Are you ready to ditch passwords, step away from corporate servers, and own your digital identity forever? It's a paradigm shift that demands our attention, and honestly, it's happening right now on Web4.